Hello and welcome back to X Creek Gaming. Today I want to talk about one of the list for boarding action available in White Dwarf number 485, which is the Bronzewrought. This is a boarding action rule or list for Iron Warriors, basically. All right, so let's first let us check what the Iron Warriors get in general, right? Um, they're a Chaos Space Marine, so they will still get their own the whole shebang, like the let the galaxy burn, the all of these. All right. So if you're familiar with Chaos Space Marines, they're still here. You can check them out in their book. I will not talk about them too much aside from the Iron Warriors part. So here we go. The Legion trait for Iron Warriors is that when they're attacking a target, they don't get the benefits of cover, any kind of cover. So this is actually pretty good, especially because in boarding action, there's a lot of rules that gives um, some units or some armies the benefit of light cover when they are outside of 6 inches, which means this ignores that. That's very good. Also, the second one, it makes them a bit tougher in that armor penetration of -1 and -2 is worsened by 1. So -1 and -2 becomes no armor penetration and -1, which combined with some of the stratagems in the Bronzewrought makes them quite tough to kill. Alright, now let's check the Bronzewrought rule. I do not use screenshot or scanned pictures of the White Dwarf because I'm afraid that I might get in trouble with GW, so I've rewritten everything here in this Word document. Alright, so for the rule, you can ignore all of the Chaos Space Marine rule for list building and instead use this. So basically, this one is the same as in Chaos Space Marine, in which you can only have one Balefire Tome. So if you bring 2 Legionaries, you can only have one Balefire Tome in your list. And the second one, you cannot include any demon, demonkin, or cultist. Okay, and then there's the rule for the rules adaptation. There are none. So every rule that applies to Iron Warriors and Chaos Space Marines in the Codex, they still work. No changes. Alright, for the enhancement, aside from the regular universal enhancement you can find in the boarding action rule in Arcs of Omen, which one is the first one? I forgot whichever that was. Abaddon, yeah, Arcs of Omen, Abaddon, or just go to Wahapedia if you want to see the rules. Aside from those enhancements, you get these 2 enhancements. The first one is Cold-Hearted Disdain, which is basically gives the hero you give this to your warlord, right? Give the warlord transhuman 4+, so they can only be wounded if the enemy wound rolls of 4, 5, or 6. Other than that, it's a fail. Pretty good. It makes them even tougher and harder to kill. And then the second one, this one I'm not very sure. Cruelty by design, right? So once per turn, you can reroll 1 hit roll, 1 wound roll, or 1 saving throw made for the bearer, right? So this is basically like once per turn, you can save 1 CP from rerolling. Or I guess you can use the CP to reroll whatever other stuff. But I don't know. It depends, I guess. If you really need the reroll, then yeah, sure. But I don't know. Personally, I think the Cold-Hearted Disdain is much better, or just take the +2 CP from the universal enhancements, or you use the +1 strength and +1 damage from the universal enhancement. That's pretty good too. Alright, next we check the stratagems. The first one is Sensory Purge for 1 or 2 CP. Basically, when you are attacked, when you are getting shot at by the enemy, they get -1 to their wound rolls. But if the unit that is being shot at, your unit, is a Terminator, this costs 2 CPs. This is pretty good. Yeah, -1 wound roll. That's huge, especially for the Terminator. That's why it's cost 2. Yeah, it'll make them very hard to kill. All right, next one is Demolition of Hope. 1 or 2 CP, basically in your own shooting or fight phase. When a unit from your army attacks, it's 5 plus auto wounds, which is very good. This is really, really good. Use this with legionaries. Let's check the legionaries. Here you go. Yeah, use this with legionaries and give the legionaries their Reaper chain cannon. See, Reaper chain cannon. So it's heavy 8 and auto wounds on 5 plus. That's like at least what? At least 1, maybe 2. You get 2 if you're lucky, right? If you're very lucky, maybe 3 or 4. And this doesn't count like the other bolters and other weapons, which will get more 5s and auto wounds. Really good. Right? Alright, so, but if this is Terminator, it costs 2. I'm guessing just use this on your legionaries. However, you probably don't want to bring flamers because that won't auto wound, right? It'll auto hit though, so whatever. Next one is Malevolent Monitoring. Basically, you can charge without line of sight. Useful in some situations, but yeah, it's a thing, I guess. Next is Calculated Firepower, 1 CP. Whenever you overwatch, you gain Hold Steady. Basically, you're hitting on 5 plus on that overwatch action. Again, this is also useful for the legionaries, especially if you shoot a lot. Some of them will probably hit. But yeah, this is mostly just for deterrent, right? Just to scare people to not appear in front of you, so they have to go the long way. Yeah. Next one is Unstoppable Breach. Basically, in boarding action, when you want to open a door, your enemy behind the door can prevent you from opening the door or hatchway. But with this stratagem, you can pay 1 CP, the door will open. Yeah, the door will open, and you will automatically be engaged. That's the operate hatchway rule. So basically, if it's open and you're within 2 inches of the doorway of the hatchway, you'll be engaged immediately. And none of you are considered to have charged. And the last one is Prideful Resentment. Basically, when an enemy unit destroys one of your unit, all of your other remaining units can reroll their hit roll against that particular enemy unit. This is very useful in boarding action, because in boarding action, there's usually, right, your enemy will have that one particular unit that hits very hard and is very hard to kill. Like Centurions, like Terminators, like Meganobs. So things like that, you might want to use this. It's 1 CP and it stays until the end of the battle. Of course you'll use this, right? Yeah, very useful. Alright, so yeah, that's all the rules. Pretty easy. All in one page, right? And now we check a sample list that I made. Basically Iron Warrior list, 500 points. Because we're using Iron Warriors, of course we'll be using a Warpsmith. I think that's their thing, right? I think, I don't know. I'm not really familiar with Iron Warriors, so this is what I came up with. Do they have like something? Oh no, it's a repair. Okay, never mind. Never mind. The Warpsmith does not work here because it works with machines, right? With vehicles. Yeah, okay, never mind. Alright, so 80 points. What can you get with 80 points? I'm guessing a regular Chaos Lord would work, right? Or an Exalted Champion, I suppose. Yeah, you can pick whatever. I would suggest not using as a Terminator because the stratagem will cost twice if you're using Terminator. So the Sensory Purge, Demolition of Hope, Terminator stuff, just use it on the actual Terminator unit, Terminator squad. Of course, you'll be bringing Legionaries, 10 of them, all with Bolt Gun, and Reaper Chain Cannon and Plasma Gun. You can switch some of these around if you want to. depending on what you want. You can add marks if you want to. Chaos Spawn is optional because you have 80 points, but that's for Dwarfsmith, which I misread. So let's say you bring a Chaos Lord, that's 100 point. You have 520, so you cannot bring the Chaos Spawn, right? Yeah. The rest 5 points, you can give some of these weapons, right? I gave the Terminators like one heavy flamer, and then there's combi flamer, but you can switch these around. You can give them like Reaper autocannon, and then the combi flamer, just change it into like a combi bolter. So you have 15 points left, and then you can give the Chaos Lord a mark. I don't know, a mark of whatever you want. Mark of Zinch, maybe, mark of whatever. Or if you want a mark of, let's say, Slanesh, so they can fight first, you can downgrade this, because I don't really think you need the Thunder Hammer, because there's not a lot of like strength, toughness 7 stuff in boarding action. At most it'll be like toughness 6, right? So you might want to change this into something else. Let's see. Take the chain axe, maybe. Right? This is your choice, whatever you want. So yeah, that's basically it. There you go. Chaos Lord, Legionary, Chaos Terminator. You have two. The Legionaries will be divided into 2 groups of 5, right? One group will have the Reaper Chain Cannon. One group will have the Plasma Gun. And yeah, probably the one with the Plasma Gun, you give the Balefire Tome, or the other way around, and then the other one will get the Aspiring Champion. This is really good. These 2 groups of 5 will be trying to control the objectives. The Chaos Terminator will be moving forward and kill everything else. The Chaos Lord will try to kill stuff too. Alright, so yeah, that's the list. That is the list. Now, I mean, if you want to bring something else, you can just put this in Chaos Undefeated. You have 25 points. You can bring a Chaos Spawn for more units on the field, which might be useful. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, yeah. All right, that is the Bronzewrought list from White Dwarf 485. This is all the list. This is all the rules if you want to. Or you can just buy the book. I don't know if you can still buy the book or not, but this is the list. Alright, thank you for watching, and see you all next time. Bye.